Welcome back to Botch the Podcast. I don't typically post twice in 1 week, as those of you who have followed me for a little bit know it usually takes me quite a while to make videos. I'm really only making content that is interesting to me, and it's very niche. So there's just really a small group of people who are interested in what I am talking about. But as there are some new people here, I would like to explain I'm not taking myself super seriously here. This is not actually a podcast. That's more of an inside joke. There was a group of people who made a podcast and talked about my friends and myself, and then this is how this channel was born, if you were wondering. I also said I wasn't going to be talking about Onision again, so naturally we're going to be talking about Onision again today. That's just kind of how I roll here. It's not a super professional broadcast. So what happened is, after I had finished and edited and posted my video the other day, I ended up coming across the rest of the live stream that I had not included in the video, and there were some things in there that I really wanted to discuss, that I really wanted to put up, and those are in these clips that I will be showing here. One of which is Onision going on sort of a racist rant, and doubling down on it, something that he had said in the past. As you guys can see, this guy hasn't evolved or changed his opinion or gotten a little bit more progressive and less idiotic in the past decade or so. He's still right where he used to be, and I think this is evident in these clips. The other clip was when somebody was allowed to come onto his stream and actually took him to task. They asked some very good questions. They shared some interesting information, and I definitely wanted to include that. So you'll be seeing that as well. And then I've got something kind of silly for the end of the video, just for fun. I do realize that these videos have a humorous tone, which, it's hard not to laugh at a clown, but a lot of the subject matter that's discussed is very serious, and Greg has done some very vile things, and that is why I think it is a-okay for people to have shamed him off the internet, and maybe they will do the same and get him off of TikTok as well. I'm not encouraging that. I'm just saying there is a good reason why people feel the way they do about this individual. So I'm going to go ahead and play these clips without interjecting too much, and then I will come back at the end and discuss this whole live stream.
Literally tattoo "Remember Love" on my wrists as a symbol of my dedication to you. I won't put your name on my body anywhere, because putting names on your body is crazy, but I'll do that. And then later on, she surprised me with a tattoo of a name on her neck, which was horrifying to me.
Don't you?
Really disturbing.
Yeah, don't you have a history?
The point is that that insecurity, it's a lot of really creepy, controlling stuff. But how do we get to that point? What's
I think it was one of Ruby's questions, but don't you have a history of cheating on your partners?
Not really. So let's define. We need to understand what we're talking about. So what do you think?
I was just reading.
Have you ever cheated?
Is it Shiloh cheating? Because Shiloh cheating is even thinking about a woman.
Have
That's not
you
your partner. Is that cheating?
relations outside of your relationships? Have you cheated by a normal person's definition of cheating?
A normal person's definition of cheating is sleeping with someone with your partner, not
kissing,
knowing,
or having an
approving.
emotional relationship over online or something.
Emotional relationships are my forte. I have emotional relationships with
That's still cheating.
friends.
Emotional.
Yeah.
It's still cheating.
Okay.
If your partner wasn't comfortable with you having a close romantic type of relationship outside of the relationship.
This is me taking accountability, you guys. I'm an emotional cheater.
Well, that's good. At least you're taking responsibility for something.
I'm taking accountability, you guys. I'm an emotional
Nothing
cheater.
else, though. None of the
I emotionally
other.
cheat.
None of the biggest
Because
stuff.
I'm not wrong about any of the other things. I'm not wrong. You see how I know I'm wrong about emotionally cheating, and so I straight up say it right away?
Mm-hmm.
There's a number of issues that I have admitted to being imperfect about. But you guys literally, this is your guys' position, and one could argue this is the narcissism. You guys think that your way is the only way. You think that there's no possible way that I could be anything but what you think, despite the fact that I'm the only one who actually knows. I'm literally the only guy who knows all of it.
I just think you have a godlike complex, though.
You say you're victims.
A
What
lot
the
of people,
fuck are you talking
there's
about?
people that are accusing
I
you
just
of
explained
stuff.
to you. I just explained to you how a woman slapped the phone out of my hand
Yes,
when I was
you can
dialing
be an abuser
911
and be a
physically
victim at the same
restrained
time.
me.
Those things
And then you're like,
aren't
well,
mutually
you're a victim.
Exactly.
What is it? Because I'm white? Is it because I'm cis? Is it because I'm
No,
male?
like, I'm
what
saying
is,
that-
What is it? Because I'm white? Is it because I'm cis? Is it because I'm male?
As someone who used to watch your videos and
like, does she have to shoot me in the face for you guys to call me a victim? What does she have to do?
Okay.
well, a lot of people in the chat are saying reactive abuse.
You have this men can't be victims nonsense, which is just
Why do you pull a
disgusting.
race card and everything?
Yeah, what does it matter if you're
Why
cis and
are
white?
you being so ageist and sexist and potentially
You shaved her head
racist?
completely and embarrassed her on the internet.
She literally said that I should do that.
What? I forgot about that. Stop.
She literally said that I should do that.
That doesn't mean you should. Like, there's a lot of
in a good
stuff
mindset.
you
What the
said
hell
that
are
was
you?
a lot.
Okay, so now
I'll
I'm
say that.
responsible. I'm responsible for an adult telling me that they're cool with me shaving their head. I'm responsible with them maybe not being happy with it 10
Okay,
years
but
later.
she could have been in a terrible mindset. Like,
Adults are responsible for their own
not,
decisions.
not when they're in a horrible mental health state, though. They're delirious.
Yes. No one, you guys have this constant idea that like literally no one can be guilty of anything except for me.
That's
And
not
that's
like
fucking insane.
true. Like, no one is saying that.
That is
your
like,
experience-
that's true because that's your narrative this whole fucking conversation. Jesus Christ. Like you wonder why like white cis males are the leading self-life enders. Like you guys have no sympathy for the people who have the highest rate of self-ending their life. Why do you think that is? It's because you literally give them no compassion. You talk about all this privilege that they supposedly had, yet you blame them for all your problems and you take no accountability for your own problems. It's actually nuts. Like literally, I mean, I've gone point by point and they're like, all you've done is deflect. It's like, actually, all I've done is dropped a number of facts and you refuse to receive any of them. Like you refuse to process anything I'm saying and love just sticking to this, like almost like you're being paid or like it's your religion to hate me. And like, you just can't process anything else. It's like Trump trying to talk to Democrats or
Wow.
Democrats.
What are you doing this live for?
So there doesn't have to be a reason.
I was just wondering if you like were having like a prompt or anything, or if you're just up here to be up here. Yeah,
A
because usually
prompt?
people on
What does that
TikTok,
mean?
whenever they go on live, they have a prompt. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Oh, right, like the rewards
Something
program.
like that, or they just like have something on the green screen background that like will start a conversation or a debate.
Yeah.
I
What compelled you to actually want to be on?
I just find it very fascinating the way that you act. Yeah, exactly. The eye
Okay.
roll. That's interesting.
Yeah, because I like imagine being an expert on a subject and everyone who's not an
What
expert on
subject?
it who watched a few YouTube videos, they think they know more
What
about it than
subject,
you do.
though?
What have we been discussing this entire time?
Cred? A predator.
You know what? Ugh. You guys are like brainwashed. It's
I'm
actually fucking
not.
disgusting.
I'm 27.
Am I able to be heard?
I'm actually not brainwashed. I think she was about the same age. She was like 20 something. She's like, I'm not brainwashed. I'm 20 something. It's like, do you realize that most cult members are in their mid 30s?
Hey,
and 40s?
Onision.
Hi.
Am
are
I
you
insane? That's a good question. I have a couple questions for you, actually, because I've been taking notes. I've been here for like 3 fucking hours. So,
Right. Well, it seems kind of like everyone lines up to punch Onision like a fucking punching
No,
bag.
no, no, no.
because everybody's
I'm just here
fucking
to hear you out, dude. Because I've been a fan of you since dude. I was like 13, so you know I still use your ew and emo fag to this day. So,
I'd rather you
sorry,
not.
my fault. I can say that I'm a gay man. Anyways, I just have like one big question.
Yeah, but I don't think you can though, because like technically I'm married to a trans guy.
I am a trans man. So, anyways, I have one big question. One huge question, right? What is with you just not being able to say sorry to things? Like, that's like the one big thing of
Pause real quick. Pause real quick. Pause real quick. If somebody said that you did 9/11, would you apologize?
Yeah, but nobody said you did 9/11. People are like saying things that you actually did.
Do you understand the context? Do you understand the context? The context is there's no way you could have done 9/11, but everyone wants you to apologize for it. And then they act like you're a narcissist because you won't say that you did 9/11. And you're like, why are these people crazy? I obviously didn't do 9/11, but they're like, oh, wow, look at this narcissist getting so defensive because they don't want to admit that they did 9/11. You're like, why are you people crazy? I didn't do this. And they're like, oh, well, that's just because you don't want to take accountability. You're like, I wasn't there on 9/11. They're like, that's not what this YouTube blogger said. And you're just like sitting here going, am I surrounded by like stupid, crazy, evil, or all of the above people?
Yeah, but the thing is some of the, like, for example, like the jokes that, like, that was one of the big ones. I was like the fat phobic jokes and everything.
I'm going to tell more offensive jokes.
Listen, I'm not saying you can't tell offensive jokes, but you kind of created a community that is like LGBTQ friendly, kind of liberal, you know, that type of space. And then you're surprised when people are like, you know, offended by offensive jokes. You know, no, you created that community. All of
bro is not that community that you just described.
Buddy, everybody I talk to in real life is like, that was a fan of you at the time, because also one of my friends was in your video. They were gay, liberal, Democrats, like, and you have pushed democracy, everything. Like, I don't understand why you're so surprised that people are offended by your, like, you're comparing it to like somebody saying you did terrorism, dude. No, people are just saying you just need to like take accountability for the shitty jokes you made. Like, I don't.
Which joke? Can you think of a single?
You've called a black girl's hair nappy, for one.
Okay. Here's pause that though. I have a really good response for that. People took. Imagine I made a video about white girls' hair, and I said some white girls' hair was bad and some white girls' hair was good. What people did is they took only the negative comments that I made in that video, and then they acted like it was some race thing. When you see the original video, I remember going out of my way to compliment one and not the other, compliment this one, not the other, to be balanced. But people only took the negative stuff, and to say that I can't be balanced with all races is racist. If I can't treat other races the same as our own race and be honest with them, that's racist. And so people are asking me to apologize for not being racist.
But you are a white guy calling a black girl's natural hair nappy. Like, do you not see the problem in that, dude? Like, I don't care. I don't care about the fact that you called white people's hair nice, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm telling you is you are a white man calling a black woman's hair nappy because it's natural and she didn't have it done. Like, I feel like you're missing the point, and that's racist. No, that's the joke.
There was another person there was actually multiple people who had natural hair and it wasn't done that looked good.
Oh, okay. You using the term nappy is the racist term. That's what I'm telling you.
I don't recall using that. It's possible I could have, but I don't recall using that.
Okay, next joke. Fat phobia. You have pushed for.
To be fair, let's just take a look at one of Onision's old videos and see what he actually said.
Everybody hates me. What do I have to lose, you know? So this frizzy crap, I say frizzy crap because it just comes to mind. It's not that it's actual crap, it's fine. I know, it looks like a mess. It looks like when you crumple up paper and you throw it. But is this a problem? Is this a bad hairstyle? And the answer is surprisingly no. Even though I described it terribly, it's not a problem at all. In fact, hairstyles like that make me think this person's exciting. This person has a lot of energy. And I know that's a stereotype, but it's how I feel. Highly braided, whatever. First of all, Pretty sure she doesn't spend 7 hours a day braiding that. Pretty sure she doesn't even necessarily wash that. And I know that I'm not attracted to that. I'm more attracted to something like this. Something that you feel more inclined to believe that she prepped that today. And that there's a good chance that that doesn't smell like dead rats. Unlike probably haven't washed my hair in 4 years girl over here. This style is hyper boring, hyper lazy, but probably wouldn't deter me from dating someone. I mean, I barely ever put effort into my hair, so I'm not really one to judge. This hairstyle is cliche, but it's not going to stop me from dating someone once again. Here we have another example of that probably doesn't feel good to the touch, it probably isn't fun to maintain, it probably hurts your scalp, probably isn't washed very much, just don't.
In the video, he goes on to imply that black women with highly braided hairstyles, or pretty much hairstyles at all, do not shower often and do not wash their hair often. And being that Greg is the authority on black women's hair, since he is a white male with short hair and not that hair texture, he lets black women helpfully know that they can in fact wash their hair every day because Greg says so, and he obviously knows what he's talking about.
Joke, fat phobia. You have pushed for years, fat phobia jokes. Like, and you can sit there and claim that they're jokes, but when you have done it for years, I don't think it's a joke anymore when you sit there and you tell 15-year-old girls that they're fat, like, and that they need to like go do something. Like, I don't think that's, I don't think that's an offensive joke. I think
you're talking about videos that were made. You're talking about videos that were made what, 9 years ago?
Yeah. Okay.
Probably?
Sure. But you are now on live again.
And you're talking about videos that you don't really know of literal specific examples. But I'm supposed to feel remorseful for telling jokes.
Okay. Do you want an actual example? Do you want a real example that you should apologize for? My 15-year-old friend that was in your video that posted her weird fucking body thing. Like, it was supposed to be a weird body part you had that you told people to post, and she posted her tongue, and you made a weird sexual fucking joke about a 15-year-old girl who, by the way, in the picture, had her school uniform on. Like high school. It said right there on her thing. So you made a joke about how long her tongue was and how good that would feel to a man. And she was 15. And she had her high school uniform on. I'm not joking.
I sincerely doubt that.
And also, I was right there.
Jokes are jokes, but let's do a moment of acknowledgement here, okay? Someone saying that, if someone knew that someone was of that age or whatever, like literally, it's a picture of a tongue.
You think college kids wear high school uniforms? Like uniforms to school?
Who's studying the uniform?
Because she had a high school uniform in the picture. Right. Like, she was her full face.
Oh my God, I don't memorize uniforms.
You are still not taking accountability. That's what I'm trying to like push.
I'm talking to you right now. First of all, this is
still not taking accountability. That's what I'm trying to like push.
I'm talking to you right now. First of all, this is an example that I have no proof even existed. I don't know where it is. But obviously that's inappropriate, and obviously I wouldn't want to do that. That's obviously gross, and cringy, and horrible.
So you're taking accountability. Like, say the words, I'm...
Obviously, I wouldn't want to do that. That's obviously gross, and cringy, and horrible.
So you're taking accountability. Like, say the words, I'm sorry.
I love how this cuts out at the worst possible times.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know if that was me or you.
It was, I don't know. But that's gross, what you're describing. I hate that.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that
that's really fucking gross. Like, yeah. I personally am fucking disgusted by that. So if that's a real thing,
do you see the point as well? Because I also want to bring up a point of, you foster a community that is mostly younger people. And that is at the time because most of the people I knew, and keep in mind, I was also a teenager at this point. Most of the teenagers I knew watched you. Like, and I can't think of a single adult that even knew who the fuck you were. Like, my sister, who was an adult at that time, did not even know who the fuck you were. And she was 18. So I think you are misunderstanding that you created this community, and then these community posted this stuff online for you to, look at, and you, instead of, checking, you decided to continue rating their bodies and then be like, cry about it when people said something. I'm not calling you a pedophile. Listen, I'm not saying you were.
There are plenty of videos where I was confirming ages.
Okay.
And like literally, there's so many videos of me saying, if you are not an adult, do not post. and this is supposed to be YouTube appropriate. Like I cannot stress enough how many times I did that over and over.
Okay, but there's
and
also
over.
like 10 million videos showing that, like, proof that those kids in those videos were like underage. So I don't know what you want me to say, dude, because you still did it.
So they're reposting content that's supposedly inappropriate?
No, they're telling you did it.
So they're telling me that it was done, but they aren't posting proof that it's done.
Dude, what do you mean proof that it's done? It's literally all over. You posted the proof yourself.
What I'm saying is like, first of all, content can be altered. That's possible. Additionally, you're talking about people posting or making statements that something happened, but there's no actual confirmation that something happened. Additionally,
you don't need confirmation from something if you did it yourself. You keep saying there's no confirmation. You're the one that posted the proof. You posted those videos of those
that's
girls.
What I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is content can be altered. So I don't know for sure if it's even real what you're talking about.
You don't know if the videos of you looking at underage girls and going, "You're fat, you're too fucking skinny," or you have a muffin top, or your stomach's too big.
Dude,
you don't think those aren't real?
Dude, like 9 years ago, I had a site where I said you can post content here if you're an adult and if the content is YouTube appropriate. You guys then, whoever you are, posted content that was like, there's plenty of people who are obviously adults in the videos, plenty. Okay, nobody talks about, all the people who are obviously adults. What they talk about are maybe random people who lied, like random assholes who fucking lied or were just generally dishonest, degenerate assholes. And then they're saying, hey, look at all these degenerate assholes. They lied to you about this and they disregarded the board rules. And it's literally like, are you going to go to Twitter and you're going to hold Elon Musk accountable? I think it's called Section 230. Are you going to hold the platform responsible for people lying? And if your idea is like, yes, you have to hold people who didn't lie responsible for the people who did lie, even though all the content in question was for adults, supposed to be by adults and have appropriate content for all audiences. That's YouTube appropriate. And if you talk about, hey, this person makes a lot of offensive jokes and whatnot, of course they're going to make offensive jokes. That's what they do. So, was that Bug? That was the person who I was supposed to talk to this whole time? They seem really triggered. They seem very, very upset, unhinged. I mean, I know they have strong feelings about the issue. And I made a concession. If something ever inappropriate has happened, obviously I'm disgusted and don't want anything to do with that. Because that's insane to want inappropriate things to happen. Fuck that.
Hello.
Hi, are you here to attack me too?
No, I really am kind of just here to mediate, I guess. But, I mean, if that's not what you want, that's fine. But I do want to say I have been watching you for a very long time, and I feel like, longer than I should with the whole canceling thing. And I'm not against dark humor or anything like that. But it is frustrating to see the arguments that are going on between you and the people in this live. And, I don't know, no one's really here to be like, hey, chill out a second, like, let's actually talk about this.
Well, no one's here to be like, oh, here we are seeing eye to eye. Everyone is coming to say, you're wrong, I'm right, and there's no other way around this. And it's like, if you're not here to have an actual discussion, like you're just here to like punch someone while they're down, why would I want to talk to you? Like,
see, that's the thing, like, I don't think that... This is like
a gang. Like, this is 1.8 thousand gang members ganging up on someone to tell them that they're a terrible person, and that's all they want. They just want to tell someone that they're terrible. They don't actually want to see the humanity among everything and see that this person has always been an ally of what's good and simply just did not perceive people as constantly being frauds to them, allegedly. And it's like, what are you supposed to do when you say you have to be adults and you have to post appropriate content only? What are you supposed to fucking do when people, lie to you and then blame you for their lies?
I mean, this is what I was thinking regarding that situation. If I really couldn't control underage girls like getting into my content, then I would probably just stop doing the content because it's more incriminating for. Huh?
You understand that I was stressing it very, very heavily over and over again. Adults only. This has to be appropriate for all audiences. When at some point I just got bored of the content and moved on, and that was great because there's plenty of content to do, but it's something that people loved and that a bunch of lying assholes ruined. Because if everybody just did what I asked them to do, there'd be nothing wrong with it.
Yes, I know, but the fact is that you really could not control that. So you continuing to create content that, underage girls just happen to get into, it's more of a wrong look on you than it is on them. And I feel like
you're preaching to the choir on I should have never allowed those fucking scumbags anywhere near my life. Because if they're gonna lie about the content that they submit, then fuck them. Like literally, you don't get to be a part of my video. You don't get to associate with me whatsoever because you're lying. You're a liar. You're a fraud, and you're submitting content fraudulently to someone, and then you're blaming them for the content that you submitted under a lie.
Oh so yeah, well, that's all true, but they're also underage, and you as the adult in that situation, shouldn't you know
the videos
better?
Are not being made. You do understand that, right?
Yes,
There's
I know.
Videos.
I know.
Okay,
they're
so
old.
what's the issue? The videos.
Because this is just the time where you could take accountability for that. Like, yes, I should have stopped earlier.
No, I literally just did. I said people were fucking horrible. They were lying to me. They were obviously frauds, and I didn't make videos anymore.
Yeah, they're not the best person, but they're also children.
Bro, like, preaching to the choir, I wanted nothing to do with them. That's why I had so many fucking disclaimers. Disclaimer after disclaimer after disclaimer. Do not submit if you're not an adult. Appropriate content only. YouTube appropriate. God damn, why does no one understand this? Can you just say for me, dude, I realize you told these fucking scumbags to not submit content. They submitted it anyway, and you shouldn't be blamed for that because you repeatedly fucking said, don't do it. Like, well, if I told everybody, let's flip this. If I told everybody, hey guys, submit bad content, you guys would hold me 100% accountable for that. But if I say don't submit the content, you still hold me accountable for it.
I don't know what you mean by
it's a fucking double-edged sword, man. You guys blame me no matter what. If I do everything right, you fucking blame me. I discontinued the videos. I told them 18 plus only. I told them appropriate content for YouTube only. They said, fuck you. You get to get blamed anyway.
Yes, but you just said you ended the videos because you got bored of making that content. What I'm saying is that...
No, literally, you're talking about 9 or however many years ago. It was a long time ago. So I discontinued for whatever reason.
I know, but you just said your point, but what I'm trying to say is that what people are upset about is you not taking accountability. I'm just trying to give you an example of something you could have taken accountability for. That's not even villainizing. No, you're blaming the children.
I'm blaming liars for lying.
But
and I'm saying I discontinued it for whatever reason, but obviously they're not continued because obviously they don't have any benefit. You got to understand that even like my ex-girlfriend was in the video, like commenting on the videos, and like nobody saw anything wrong with them because nobody had quite understood at that point how dishonest my viewers were. Everyone was supportive. And then the veil was lifted. Oh, hey, you have a bunch of lying frauds watching you. It's like, oh shit, let's get out of here. We're outie.
Okay, I don't think you're getting my point.
You're blaming me for believing.
No, I'm not blaming you for anything. No.
And like, I understand. Like, I didn't start the topics. These people started the topics. My policy was I'm going to make the content that my audience demands. My audience demanded content. I made the content they demanded. I didn't say, hey, oh gosh, I'd sure love to tell you if you're a 9 or a 6. No, I straight up said, here's the forum. Start the topics that you want. And everybody's like, oh, I want you to tell me if I'm fat or not. And I said, okay, I'll tell you if you're fat or not. Because literally there was like 50 or 60 pages of people just saying, hey, I want to know if I'm fat. I'm like, okay, it's appropriate for YouTube. There's nothing wrong here. So, okay, I'll tell you if you're fat or not.
Okay. I'm just going to bring this up as an example for myself. So I don't have a large following on here. I have like 60K, whatever. And, I've gotten asked to make certain kinds of content, whatever.
But oh my God, it's 2024. You can't compare 2024 to 2012.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying in general, like, people have asked me to make certain content, but at the end of the day, I'm responsible for the content that I put out.
Yeah, in 2024 you are. In 2012, it was like everyone's having fun and joking around. Like nobody's freaking the fuck out like they are now.
I'm not talking
about dude, Shane Dawson was making like blackface videos back then. People were chill back then. Now people are very
was like
intense.
Super popular.
Yes, and that's my point. People used to celebrate the horrors of Shane Dawson's humor back then. years of Shane Dawson's humor back then. He was egged on. Okay? Now it's atrocious, right? Times were one way back then and they're another way now. Why are we even talking about something that's so ancient history? That's what's confusing. It's like I've made my point. I repeatedly said, I said 18 plus, I said appropriate content for YouTube only. I literally saw nothing wrong with it. YouTube saw nothing wrong with it for the longest time until, people were fucking losing shit because of Blair White's video. And so, in an article or something like that, but like an article saying, oh, hey, look at this. Isn't this bad? Like Blair White she literally came across a post that someone said, hey, I'm 17. Here's my selfie. And she didn't show the selfie to anybody. And it was of a fully dressed person with a hoodie like mine on. Totally appropriate. But Blair White turns to her audience and says, I can't show you the image for obvious reasons. Like it was something inappropriate. Like the amount of reward that Google AdSense gives people for framing other people is mind-boggling. Like for just like lying. People get so much reward for completely and utterly gaslighting or otherwise making people a villain. And it's absurd because literally, guys, let me ask you the real question. What is the fucking possible benefit of being a creep? Really? You see how much grief creeps or alleged creeps or any type of creep gets? Who would sign up for that? That's crazy. That's like, and especially in broad daylight, you gotta be nuts. So like when people are like, you, it's like literally pull up Google right now and type in predator or whatever. You're gonna find legitimate, authentic, real, horrifying cases, and you want me to apologize for fucking jokes and shit. So
I wasn't asking you to apologize, but I'm literally just trying to show you where you can take accountability, and you're refusing to see that, and you're seeing what I'm saying as an attack, where I've not called you a pedophile.
No, I did take accountability. I said if there was any inappropriate content or any inappropriate comment that was made towards anyone who wasn't an adult, that's horrifying. That's disgusting to me. That's accountability. That's the definition of accountability.
The last girl who was on, or the guy who was on here, Bug, they're just saying how you said that about their 15-year-old friend about the tongue thing, and
that's what I said. I said if that was real, that's disgusting.
There's a very high possibility that it's real.
That's why I said if it's real, it's disgusting.
And if you're portraying yourself as 18, it's harder to know, and you're just like going off the situation, assuming that they're an adult.
Yeah, they're saying there was a high school uniform. Literally, okay, first of all, people in high school, many 18-year-olds, okay? There's many adults in high school. Secondly, I wasn't sitting here analyzing, like, if there's a tongue photo, I'm not sitting there going, what outfit are they wearing? That's not a concern. I'm looking at the tongue. Like, I'm defending something I don't even know is real. I'm, like, sitting here going, what the fuck? But if it is real, it's obviously disgusting because I don't, like, okay, I'll give you an example. My uncle once whistled at someone, and it turned out it was his family member, and he didn't know because he was looking at him from behind. That's the type of disgust that I would feel. Okay,
you get mortified. That's it.
Yeah, you don't fucking like that. That's disgusting. You don't, like, literally this one person, I was at a YouTube event and this chick said, oh, I'm 15. I literally just stopped looking at her entirely because it's so fucking disgusting to even think about that. Like, I'm like, stay the fuck away from me, you 15-year-old. It's gross.
I mean, I'm glad that you think that way, but if you knew that your audience were deceiving you in that way, then why did you continue making the content for as long as you did?
You have to ask yourself, when did if you watch the thing with Blair White, the interview, I'm very clearly unaware of anyone lying at all. I'm stating, I was literally had an argument with her about how I didn't lie when I signed up to YouTube about my age, so why would anyone else? And she's like, her being a liar is like, yeah, people lie all the time. Honest people don't typically assume that everyone else is lying. Liars assume people are lying. Honest people who have been lied to enough might assume that they're lying, but not right out the gate.
I'm sorry, but like back then,
if you're not going to listen to anything I say, then don't listen. Like, you're obviously not, I'm not getting anywhere with you. You want to believe what you want to believe, like every other fucker.
I don't necessarily have any.
I don't think I've ever convinced anyone of shit. Yeah, like literally humans are so stubborn, they just want to believe what they believe. Okay. Like, I could literally put my head on the chopping block and say, chop off my head, and people will say, why aren't you taking accountability? I'm like, what the fuck do you want from me? I literally said it's disgusting, if that's real.
but that's not what I'm talking about. Like, the objectiveness of how funny it is or how disgusting it is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is taking accountability for it regardless of what you thought at the time. And I mean, honestly, like, as a middle schooler watching your content,
I'm curious about what you want to hear, like word for word, what a script would sound like.
What do you want me to say?
I'm not waiting for you to say anything. I'm just trying to say, like,
you're telling me to take accountability and you don't even know what that sounds like?
I know what accountability sounds like, and to me,
so
in
what
this
am I supposed to
situation,
say? What
it
am
would
I
sound
supposed
like-
to say to you?
it would be like, in hindsight, you look back and you notice that your audience was a certain way and that these people could slip through the cracks. And even though you set up restrictions, whatever, you wanted to believe that they're 18. And it didn't work. That's all you have to say. It's like, you should have
I already said
been
that,
more
though, in
cautious.
so many ways. I already said that.
I don't think you have.
Obviously, people had lied. It wasn't working out how it was intended. People weren't being straightforward. And obviously, that was a mistake, because if people aren't going to be honest with you, you can't talk to them. Hence why so many people are removed from my life, because they are frauds. Hence why they were rejected by me, because they are frauds. That's what happens to people when they're frauds to you. You reject them. You remove them from your life. Hence why they're going on being frauds elsewhere. You know, when I detect a fraud, I typically try to get them as far away from me as possible. So yeah, the videos haven't been made for many, many years because it was maybe one of the many reasons, because of frauds. And I don't know, like I literally just said basically what you were talking about, taking accountability for the realization that people are liars and that it shouldn't be continued if they're going to lie to you.
Because that's not taking accountability, villainizing villainizing the other part. I'm not
villainizing
I'm saying
the liars?
villainizing the other, because they're
I'm just
kids.
saying liars are
like,
liars.
Yes, I know, but when I take accountability for whatever the fuck, like if I said some shitty ass thing back in the past, like I admit, I thought that is like.
Okay, let me put it this way. It was a mistake to trust people were being truthful.
See, that's the thing. Like, that's not the mistake that was made, because it happens all the time. That's just an accident.
There's nothing wrong with adults submitting appropriate content that's appropriate for all ages. The only mistake was
there is nothing wrong with
not understanding that people were lying to me as much as they were, if they were.
See, that's the accident. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't a choice to believe these people. Like, that is something that you take accountability for, because it wasn't a choice.
What?
Okay, if you look back at all these videos and all the humor, whatever, regardless of whether it's funny, like, taking accountability for all the shit that went on back then, it's not about accidentally believing the liars. That's not a choice that you made, so that is not something that you can take accountability for. What you can take accountability for...
I believed in people, I assumed they were telling the truth.
But that's not something you can take accountability for, because it wasn't a choice. You didn't choose to believe these people, you just did.
It was a mistake to believe people.
Yeah, but that's not something you can take accountability for, is what I'm saying. So just creating the content in general, even after knowing that there is underage people submitting.
I didn't know.
So for offering the platform, he needs to apologize?
I didn't know that there was any inappropriate content involving anyone who wasn't appropriate to have said content of. Like, I literally repeatedly said adults only, appropriate content only. There's videos that were like, guess my age. And I
so you had no idea that
and as I recall, I was guessing all kinds of ages, because it's just guessing people's ages. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's other videos which are like rate me, which obviously you have to be 18 plus. So
yeah, but I'm saying you didn't realize at all that there was like teenagers slipping through the cracks?
Not in the rate me videos.
But on the other ones?
Well, if you're doing guess my age, really early on, there were sections that people could, as I recall, there were sections that people could say, like, hey, guess my age, and then they would say their age underneath. And I think that there was people of a variety of ages wanting me to guess their age. So it's literally like the Shay Carl family photo. Like, it's like if Shay Carl's kid said, hey, audience, because, you know, they're on YouTube too. Say, hey, audience, how old am I? And this was ancient history, before the rating videos or anything like that, before any of the 18 plus rules, etc. I think. I don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that the 18 plus was stressed repeatedly in regards to any fat or rating or anything like that.
Okay, I guess that's mainly what I was saying. It's like if you knew at the time that these underage people were.
It was a mistake to tell people what I thought of their appearance, because I assumed I was speaking to people who were what they said they were, which was adults. Obviously, if someone's going to lie about their age, you shouldn't be commenting on their appearance. I didn't obviously know that people were lying about their. I wouldn't have done commentary on these things if they were. If I knew they weren't the appropriate age, obviously, because it's fucking gross. So I don't know what more you want from me, because I'm saying, like, this is accountability. This is saying, hey, there was mistakes made because content wasn't what I had indicated that was the interest. When people tell you there's something that they're not, and you believe them, it was your mistake for believing them and for going along with it. My audience lied to me. And I followed through with assuming that they're truthful when they weren't. What do you want?
I don't have a specific narrative that I'm trying to go after. That was just something that I was trying to clear up.
I think what your point is those videos were fucking inappropriate because of the nature of people.
I mean, I guess, but I'm not going after, like, any, like...
Yeah, you're not trying to blame them, right?
No,
saying,
I'm not.
I think what you're saying is that I should have known better. I should have known that people would lie.
I guess, in a way, but that's easy to say in hindsight. I'm just saying...
Well, you literally said hindsight as far as your verbiage for taking accountability. You said in hindsight is how you started it.
Yeah, because hindsight really does matter when it's in account of accountability, you know? But I'm just saying, as a child back then, when I was watching those videos, I could clearly tell when people were underage. Obviously not for every picture, but I feel
so that's the thing. Let's jump to this flat-chested comment. I said there was a video I made where I was like, I was trying to tell people who, there's people who are like, I have an ex-girlfriend who's flat-chested to this day, and she's in her late 20s, I think, mid-20s or something. I don't know, but she's still flat-chested. Okay, so flat-chested people are real. They exist. They're adults. And I was trying to make a video that was saying, hey guys, don't judge yourself based on your chest size. If you're healthy, you should be happy with yourself, right? And people translated a lot of that, like even Blair White, she's like, are you attracted to people who, a big, small chest, whatever? And I'm like, if you're a grown woman, you're perfectly fine to me. And she's like, so you're into flat-chested people? And then Blair White started shaming people who, could be in their 20s and still flat-chested. And then people tried to turn that into, oh, he's into people who are flat-chested, therefore he's a creep. And it's like, so you're saying that anyone who's attracted to an adult who's flat-chested is now a creep. And so like that's the kind of like narrative twisting that's consistent with people who want to stand against me. They're just very stuck on this idea that any inch of argument they can have should turn into a mile. And it's wild because it's like you're body shaming so many adults by saying people with flat chests are somehow, like, if you're attracted to a 30-year-old woman who's flat-chested, you're somehow predatory. That's bizarre. And
there's a lot of people that are doing that, but I personally am not. I'm trying to just take it little by little, like topic by topic, I
was just using that as an example of one of the things people have attacked me for, to try and to make things fit their pre-existing narrative.
But what's the point in bringing that up other than going off topic?
No, I was just... Oh my
Conversational.
God. No, it's really actually on topic, because it's talking about how you said that, people were obviously not of one age or another, but you would be surprised because there's plenty of people who are flat-chested out there who are in their 30s. So you would
I know, I'm flat as fuck, but like, there's
there
just...
you go. Literally, you just supported my point.
Well, that point, yes. I do understand your point there.
Well, you gotta understand, people's faces weren't in a lot of these, so it's like you can't, like, typically the facial features are what give a person away, and if you don't have facial features in it, and they're saying that they're an adult, it is what it is. Can we move on to another topic? This is like
Sure.
bored to death.
If you'd like to, it's your live.
It's my life.
No, you're live.
Okay. Anyway, did you have anything else?
I guess not. I really was just trying to be like butting in sometimes, but I didn't really mean to have, be the forefront of this conversation.
I think it's kind of crazy how, like, if you come in here and you say horrible things, you get a lot of, like, emojis and reactions. It's such a mob mentality. Like, if you don't say something hateful, if you don't say something hateful about him, then you're not cool.
So that is pretty much what I had missed, and then my video includes what happened after that, which is pretty much just him being defensive towards a couple more people and then rage quitting the live. Somebody goes on to ask if he had, if he was monetized on TikTok, despite the fact that he had been getting gifts all throughout the live and getting mad about a couple of them. He very clearly is monetized on TikTok, and he said he was not. So there you go with that. This section is longer than I kind of anticipated, so I'm going to keep my kind of synopsis short at the end. But I did want to include it and make another video because it does cover some of the stuff that people were asking and talking about in the comments of the last video. I think what Greg was hoping is that he could come back to TikTok and enough time had passed that nobody would remember any of the Chris Hansen stuff or the grooming or the documentary or the years and years and years of terrible behavior, the wetlands incident, all the weird stuff that kind of equated to harassment of other YouTubers, people like Jacqueline Glenn, Mr. Rapezian, Repzilla, I mean, a lot of people. His harassment with Eugenia Cuny was obviously briefly discussed, and we talked about that in the last video. And people, I feel like, wanted to and tried to ask about his history with all of these ex-girlfriends, ex-fiancés, things that equate to DV and just narcissistic behavior, but they didn't really know the right questions to ask. And at one point, one of the people who was on his live was kind of mixing up names and stuff, which Greg kind of used to his advantage to act like, oh, none of you know what you are talking about, and all of that behavior. I feel like he was purposely only letting people on to speak who are in their early 20s so that if they were on YouTube at the same time Greg was doing this stuff, they wouldn't have a good grasp on, like, generally all that happened, how bad it was, because they would have been, like, young teens, preteens, whatnot. He also, I believe, does this so that he can have kind of like a sense of authority over them. As you can see, as some of these people were talking, he was making them a little bit flustered just with his defensive behavior, which obviously I think that's purposeful. Like I said in the last video, you will never get accountability from this man. He's not capable of it. He went round and round and round in circles with that person to specifically shift blame and blame like these young underage kids for sending these photos when he was fully aware that his demographic of viewers were predominantly young people and teenagers. And the whole comment about, oh, well, there's a lot of adults in high school. Sir, settle down. Teachers, maybe. Like fresh 18-year-olds, maybe. Like, relax, dude, you're middle-aged. So anyways, I doubt this is the last we will hear from Greg and his shed. But I don't think anybody is going to buy what he's selling, to be honest. Even without the lore, these kind of younger people did manage to take him to task, and it seemed to really trigger him at the end of that live. So that is really all I have to say on that. The other thing I was going to add into this video just at the end, just because it's funny. Well, it's stupid, but apparently a couple of years ago, Greg was having some meltdowns on YouTube, and some of them were quite animated and comical, and people started to essentially take these meltdown videos and do something called vocoding, where you essentially mess with the audio and you put it to the tune of a song. I thought this was hilarious. This is a skill that I possess for whatever reason. And I had made one of those videos, and apparently he had copyright struck me for it. But I decided to dig up that video and fix the sound a little bit, and I'm going to include that at the end. It had a couple of thousand views before it was copyright struck and taken down. So if you saw that years ago, yes, that was me. It's stupid. But anyways, that's it. I just want to include that end part of the live because I think some relevant things were discussed, and I think he definitely shows his true colors as usual. So anyways, that is all.
So you guys are so into yourselves, like you're so committed to censoring innocent people that you're just gonna go and try to get my Patreon to take it down. Oh, you have an opinion of me, so you're just gonna try and ruin my entire career. Really? Is that what you're going to do? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I never showed up. Oh, I'm sorry. The calls are all about lying boy because turns out they didn't break a single law. So what we do? Oh, our opinions have been validated so many times that we're gonna disable his Patreon. Wow! Wow, you would really do that? You would really do that? No! Drink like beans, smells even more.